Tonight, tomorrow, is Gimel Tammuz. Those words are powerful words. It means the third day of the month of Tammuz. But for Hasidim of the Rebbe, it means the day that is painful, that your spiritual father leaves this world, the one who influenced you, inspired you, and did for you so much, left this physical world, is a day to connect to your spiritual father, to think about that connection and the importance of it, the value of it, enhancing it, connecting deeper, and which means learning more of the Rebbe's teachings, doing more of the things that the Rebbe asked of us, whether it's learning Chitas, like we're doing now, Tanya, Rambam, or whether it's touching another person's life, connecting with others to bring them a message of goodness, kindness, of godliness, of Tanya and the like. That's what Gimel Tammuz is. Welcome to Tanya today. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zichron Kadesh in Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and a pleasure to share with you the Tanya. Today we share with June in Australia, where it's already Gimel Tammuz. Yes, a good night. Michael in Germany, welcome. Jeff is in Michigan with us. John, North Carolina. Vaclav is in the Czech Republic, in Pilsen. Rabab in Morocco. Louise is also in Australia, Sydney. Welcome. Simcha in Florida. Diane is in Arizona. Amy in Colorado. Denise in New Jersey. Stan in London, England. Louise. One second. I lost it here. In Sydney, Australia. Elise in West Virginia. Moshe in California. Johan in California. Liba and Davida in New York. Alan in Brooklyn, welcome. Sarah in New York. Leah in Florida. Julia in Pennsylvania. Roxy in New Jersey. Jane in the Philippines. Daphne and A Wonderful Wednesday in South Carolina. David in California. Cindy in Florida. Beautiful Michael we have Vilma. Instagrammers we have Koi in Peru. Jennifer in Minnesota, and Natalie's in Brazil. Hamid in Montreal. Talented we have Marilyn in Delaware. We have Yenta Delabent in New York. We have Carmen Tupperwit. We have Gimel Tammuz in Baltimore. All right. Rachel in South Carolina. Beautiful. Lorraine in Pennsylvania. Gillies in Georgia. Jerry in Texas. Beautiful. Did you ever wonder why a week is 7 days? Why not 10? After all, there's 10 divine attributes. So, God is a creator. Why would he create a world that's in 7 days? And of course, that's what we see, that the world is created in 6 days, and the seventh day God rested. That's what the Torah tells us. But it's interesting to note, why would the rest of the world accept that? That the week is 7 days, and not a whole number like 10. It must be that the whole world is accepting God as creator, unbeknownst to people. That's really what's behind it. But that doesn't answer the question, why does God create the world in 7 days? And the answer is, based on what we've learned, that the creation is coming through the divine attributes of God, the spheros, the 10 of them though. 10 divine attributes. Chachma, Bina, V'das, wisdom, understanding, and knowledge. Chesed, V'od, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchus. Briefly, kindness, discriminating judgment, compassion, endurance, triumph, humility, acknowledgement, connection, and sovereignty. So the 10 divine attributes, as we've explained, are incomparable to the core essence of God. Divine wisdom is a thing. God is no thing. Yet at the same time, that thing called divine wisdom or divine kindness is one with God in a perfect whole oneness. Something that we've explained previously, that we can't really understand that because we have no experience of something like that. But in those 10 divine attributes, 3 of them are intellect. Chabad, wisdom, understanding, knowledge. Now, intellect is something that is within the person for the person. You don't need any other person in your world to use your intellect. Speech you do because you speak to another, right? Action is yes towards outside of you. But within you, intellect is only of you. Doesn't necessitate another. But emotions do. Emotions means you have a feeling towards someone. Right? It can be to something too, but no, someone. Because the feeling of love can only be to a someone, not a something. Although I really appreciate this plug-in. Thank you, ladies. I don't love it. I love my kids, right? I can love a person, but not a thing, right? It's a improper usage of the word. In any case, point being over here is that the emotional attributes mean that there needs to be an emotion towards someone. And that's why God creates the world in 7 days. Because God's divine intellect doesn't necessitate otherness. Emotions necessitates otherness. And God has 7 divine attributes of emotions. Again, Chesed, V'od, Tiferes, Netzach, Hod, Yesod, Malchus. And interestingly enough, each day, if you look at creation in Genesis, each day is one of those attributes that are animating the world for that particular day. Even though it's a particular attribute, but every attribute in divine order of things is coupled with other attributes, other emotions. So it's not purely on the first day chesed, kindness, even has a little bit of gvura, but the main product of the first day, or the main emotion, is kindness. Now that kindness, of course, what's vested in it? The will of God and the intelligence of God. But it's vested in it, it's hidden in there. What you see, as when you see a person being kind, reaching out to another, right? What you are perceiving is the kindness that the person is engaged in. Inside of that kindness, there's intelligence that's guiding it, and there's a will that likewise is guiding it. That's hidden. So, hidden, I mean, you can perceive it, but it's not what's the obvious. So it sort of takes a back burner. And likewise, the other attributes that can be in there can also be a back burner. So in the first day, what did God say in the first day? Let there be light. And where was that light? Everywhere. Indiscriminate light everywhere. And not light of the sun, inherent light of creation. That's a light that actually is reserved for the righteous. That's why they can see anywhere. The righteous. Reserved for all of us to time to come when Mashiach comes. Because only on the fourth day that the sun was actually put in its place. But in any case, the point being over here, it's the divine attribute of chesed that dominates on the first day, and therefore what is the outcome or the expression of that divine kindness is vahi or, let there be light that's diffused. Now, that light is an expression of a physical light, not merely a spiritual light. It's a physical light. Not light of the sun, but a light that's characteristic and inherent of God's kindness that's diffused in the physical world. And just like dogs have a greater sense of smell than humans do. So I mean, they didn't create the smell. The smell is there. They just are more sensitive. So likewise, those who are more sensitive to this light that God created on the first day, like the righteous, that they're sensitive to that physical light in this world. And it becomes physical because there's also the attribute of Gevura, that's sort of the back burner, back seat, that's coupled with the chesed of God on the first day that is not a spiritual light, but an actual, light in creation that has some kind of boundary and limitation to it. The second day of creation is the attribute of Gevura, which would might. Might means refrain. Who's mighty? Someone who can bite their tongue, right, and not say. Holding back is might. As you see, someone who's got mighty muscles, you can see discernment in the muscle of the individual. Right, you can see the whole, I don't know what you want to call it, but you understand. It's almost like a sculpture, so beautiful, but some people might think that way. The point being, though, that there's a very discernment of the muscles of the individual, so much so that they can, flex this part of the muscle versus that part of the muscle, and and so on and so forth, right? What happened the second day? God separated between the upper worlds, the upper waters, and the lower waters, right? By the words, that there should be a firmament between the waters, dividing the waters, division, discernment, discretion, right? The first day is light without discretion, in the sense, without discernment, or without sort of it's everywhere. Now there's a distinction, second day. separating, making distinction between one thing and another. That's the power of Gevurah. Power of restraint. Now, in that Gevurah, there's also kindness, because this is God's kindness. It's expressed by making distinction, that there's a higher level, lower level. There's, more this thing versus that thing. Right? That is through discernment, through separation, that you're making, each thing, it's in its unique manner. The third day is the third day is compassion. What came out? Well, now, the third day, the waters and the waters and the earth were still kind of mixed. Third day, there was a separation between land and water. Land emerged above the waters. Separation. So that's the Gevurah part, the might part. And yet at the same time there was growth. Right, which is chesed, which is kindness. Things emerged, vegetation. Right. I like all of them. The Alter Rebbe doesn't go into them. I will briefly go into it. Fourth day is the luminaries, the sun, the moon, constellations above, which is the right side, just like the light was created on the first day. Now the fourth day, you have first day on the right, chesed, second day on the left, gevurah, third day is middle, combining the two, compassion, which compassion combines kindness and judgment. Then you have the fourth day is on the right, lower down. It's the sun and the moon. It's light. But it's a light in a certain place. Not like the first day, indiscriminate light at all times. This light is only for by day, and by night the moon rules. The sun doesn't rule. Right? In other words, it's a lower form of light. Which means the idea of where you can have to overcome and bring light into a place where there isn't light. That's netzach, to endure. Right? Then you have on the left side, hod, acknowledgement, humility. And that day, the fifth day, created creatures were created. Fish, different kinds of critters were created, which ultimately is life form, which bring to acknowledgement of that there's life, meaning that there's a giver of life, God. That's what Hod is, acknowledgement. They embody the acknowledgement of that. And they actually live by that in their root source. And then the sixth day, man was created. What's the sixth day? Yesod, foundation, connection. Man is the connection for everything. And everything else in creation. Man is the connective force of everything in the world. To connect the first day of light, second day of separating between things, third day of now There's separation between water and there's landmass, growth, compassion, that's growth. Fourth day endurance, and the celestial beings, the sun. If they create creatures created that bring acknowledgement, all of this is through man. There, he's the connective force of all of it. Man created on the sixth day, and then the seventh day is Malchus, sovereignty, kingship. God rules the world because he created in 6 days, and we rest on that day. Resting on that day is acknowledging God is the king. He is the creator. He is our provider. Those are the 7 days of creation. Again, the Alter Rebbe doesn't bring that here. I just brought it in just to appreciate, which is then gives us understanding why we have 7 days a week. Because of those emotions are above that there's otherness. Creation is otherness. Right? Now, that's from our perspective, everything. From God's perspective, all of these attributes are really only a part of God and one with him. One with him in such a way, so not like, oh, I'm going to act kind right now. I'm going to make some light. Right? Going to make some light. Oh, now I'm going to make separation. Now I'm going to make some grass grow, some trees blossom. I'm going to act this way, that way. No. For God, it's all simplistic whole oneness. It's him and his being. We don't have a concept for that. That's why we have to speak about it in terms of this quality, that quality, right? But the 7 that we're talking about are emotive qualities that emotions imply an emotion towards someone, connection to someone, humility to someone, endurance, that there's a someone, there's otherness. Otherwise, there's no need for the emotion. Just stay in your head and be intellectual. To be intellectual, you don't need anybody. That's why you call the absent-minded professor, because there's doesn't need anybody. He could sit with his books, and he doesn't need other people. But in the end, he does, because that professor who's brainy still has emotions, right? But those emotions play such a secondary role that because the person's so much in their head. But in the end, we all need it. But this is the concept. So the first day, the main quality that came into the world was the attribute of chesed. Second day, gvura. Is there chesed? Is there chesed in the gvura? Of course there is. See other qualities? Absolutely. So we have by Sfir Saimer, we have chesed in chesed, we have gvura in chesed, and so on and so forth. We have all those things, right? The coupling of different qualities. Powerful, beautiful idea. Okay. Anybody have questions? I don't see any questions. All right. Beautiful. More to come. Oh, John. Was the dissension caused by the division of the waters that withheld Kitov on the second day? The army brought the Tiferes on the third day. That was maybe 2 times Kitov. Yes. Yeah, very good, John. Exactly. So on the second day of creation, if you'll see, God does not say kitov that it was good. On a simple level, is because he didn't finish everything on the separation on the second day, because he didn't separate between the water and the earth. The waters covered over the earth after the second day. Right? The separation was only between upper waters and lower waters. Third day rather, God now made it further separation. Separation of the waters that now they don't cover the earth, which they should by sort of the law of nature in a sense. And that's a compassion that God has. It should not cover the water, cover the earth. And that's the concept of compassion. So, but more, and furthermore, God finished what he started on the second day, so therefore he only said kitov on the third day, and he actually said twice kitov, that it was good, because he finished the second day's creation, and he did the third day's. Things would grow, vegetation and so on. Excellent question. Thank you, John. Is that why Mondays we shouldn't make important decisions? Could it be linked? Absolutely. And actually, that's why Tuesdays are a special day, because it's 2 times God said it was good. And therefore, a very auspicious time to do good things. And Monday is not the best time. Exactly. If you have a choice, of course. Bella, God wanted us to work on these qualities with each other. Yep, absolutely. Well, we have the qualities, so there will be another to work with. Exactly. Carmen, I asked about the 7 laws. Are these related to the 7 days in this lesson? I never saw a connection to it. Good question. I've never seen that, but have to find out more, but not that I know. Thank you, Carmen. Roxy. Share the text title. I'm not certain what your question is, Roxy. If you could elaborate. What do you mean text title? Of the name of what we're learning? Tanya? Is that what you're... I don't know, I just put in the word Tanya there. If that's what you're making reference to, I'm not clear. Okay. All right, very beautiful. Thank you all. I'm Rabbi Ronnie Fine, coming to you from Chabad Zvichim Montreal, Canada. It's a privilege and pleasure to share with you Tanya. Rambam is coming up. Please come and join us. Davida, you have a question? I'm sorry, I did not see it. Was man created on the last day with chesed or gevura? Yisoid, you said. Foundation, connection. Coupled with chesed, yes, but the fundamental was yisoid, the 6th attribute, which means to connect. Man is the connector of everything in creation. Thank you. Have an amazing day. Tonight, tomorrow's Gimel Tammuz. Please write into the Rebbe. Rebbe, R-E-B-B-E, at ohelchabad.org, or just go on in Google and put Rebbe Oil, and you'll get how you can email or go into the website and send in putting your name, your Jewish name, your mother's Jewish name. If you're Jewish, if you're not Jewish, then your full name and your father's name, first name, middle name, and ask for blessings. And let the Rebbe know who you are. Let him know who you are. And that you learn Tanya. Okay? You learn Tanya with me. Yeah, that would be nice if you put that in. Thank you. Have an amazing day.